You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Portions of The Sports Fix brought to you by Fantasy Jocks. Looking to upgrade your league trophy? Check out fantasyjocks.com for championship belts, rings, trophies, and more.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Join The Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
I'm Tyler Zeller, and you're listening to The Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
I didn't even do that on purpose. Tyler Zeller. There's a young rim-protecting big who can stretch the floor just a little bit with some size who would look good in a Cavs jersey. Oh, wait, he was in a Cavaliers jersey until we had to clear up a whole bunch of cap space, of course, this summer. I'm just being that guy. Cavaliers. Let's just start off by saying, in every good 12-step program, there's always the rock bottom, as they like to say. Man, do I hope the Cavaliers reached it last night. Obviously well shorthanded because of the trade that we're going to talk about, and I understand that. And let me tell you, if there was one unhappy person last night at tip-off, it was DIon Waiters, because he probably had 100 or so people at the house. He's in Philly. He's coming back home. LeBron's on the bench. Kyrie's on the bench. It's going to be Dion's show tonight in Philly. Dion, come here real quick. We got to talk to you back in the back, man. Yeah, I bet you. I mean, whatever afterwards. I'm sure it took him not very long to move on at that point, but because he's heading to a fantastic situation for him as a basketball player. We'll get into all of that here in a minute, but yeah, as I said, let's man, Bruce just nailed it. Just nailed it in the chat room. It's another day in Cleveland sports here. We're going to have some fun talking about it. What would be a day without, Johnny? Of course. Hey, what do you know? John Manziel was photographed in a bar, causing trouble, flipping people off, starting fights. I'm absolutely amazed. I mean, let's stop the presses for that one there. But that's in the news, too, here. Of course, we're going to start off talking Cavaliers. I should start off by talking to you guys a bit, getting things rolling here. I dived right into it as we start. I heard Tyler Zeller, and it was the low-hanging fruit. I had to take it. I'm just saying, I liked Tyler then. I like him a whole lot more now if he was still in this in the Cavaliers uniform. But that is what it is. It is the consequence of flipping over the youngest roster in the NBA with the most assets and young talent and all these other things that they developed. They have now basically completed. I mean, there's a few shreds left, but they have basically completed the process of overturning all of those assets to put together the squad that they have now. Obviously missing a piece that I expect them to add here very soon, as far as a big man could be, as soon as the next day or two, if they just end up signing Bere, as many people expect them to do. But we'll talk about that. The switch very quickly from a team with a whole lot of assets and ways to move and flexibility to one that is much more set down its determined path now, and we'll see. We'll talk about that. Want to get your thoughts. Cavaliers, as I said, hit rock bottom last night as they became the first team this season. I'm sorry. You can tell me LeBron's hurt and Kyrie's hurt and we traded Dion, but tell me that when you were throwing the parade at the beginning of the season that you saw me opening up any any episode of the Sports Fix with the words Cavaliers lost last night to the 0-14 at home Philadelphia 76ers. I'm just saying, that's crazy. You can say it's a work in progress. Yeah, all right, I know that. I mean, we can use the cliches all day long, but your JV squad should have been out there and been able to escape Philadelphia. I could get it being a hard-fought game. That's an NBA team over there, but we were on the air yesterday. I could pull up the tweet from Guy Shea. Remember, we were talking about the game yesterday, and I get a tweet that says Cavaliers should just be able to show up to the building tonight and win this one. I mean, everybody was saying that yesterday, so don't say, well, it was because. I mean, they still should have found a way to beat that team. Everybody does. So I'm just saying, back when we had tickets, well, I didn't, but y'all had tickets to the parade. But back when the parade was happening and it was all feel good, who thought that day was coming? So hopefully it's rock bottom. I've got to tell you, I don't think so, because of what they did yesterday. And I'm all about Shumpert. Iman Shumpert can play some defense, and that needs to be contagious on this team because they don't play defense. But the other guy, I didn't consider DIon Waiters a problem. I know some Cavs fans did. Well, let me tell you, I do consider J.R. Smith a problem. So do many other people around the NBA. We're going to talk about all of that starting things off. Cavaliers, big trade, shaking things up. J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert coming into Cleveland. First-round draft pick coming in as well. We'll talk about the protections on that. DIon Waiters headed to OKC to join the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'll tell you, high octane, I mean, that can work out well for DIon Waiters down there in that situation as well. Let's talk about that. We've got Jeff Gorman coming on. Second segment of the show here. First hour, we're going to talk about some Indians news. Jason Bere, the new bullpen coach, as Kevin Cash went and took that job down with the Rays, and now Bere is going to be the new bullpen coach for the Cleveland Indians. And yeah, Bruce, I saw the tie-in there. When the Indians sent me the release, he was also the guy that closed out the stadium there when he was playing for the White Sox. Hall of Fame ballots. Jeff Gorman and I are going to talk a little bit about that. Who's going to get in? I mean, to me, how do you pick just 10 on this ballot here? Because this one is chock full of people you can make some arguments about one way or the other. Jeff Gorman's going to join us, talk about that. Dr. Football Bill Chachkes in the house. It's Tuesday. We'll talk not only NFL playoffs, we'll talk about the Browns a little bit. The Shanahans in the news as perhaps Kyle Shanahan maybe teaming up with his dad, heading somewhere else. Buffalo talking about bringing him in as the general manager, head coach combo package. We'll see. We'll talk about some of that with Dr. Football. As we said, Johnny Manziel, shock of all shocks, out at the club, got himself in the news once again. All the Cavs, I got Cavs on the brain. All the Browns told that boy when he left. I shouldn't even say boy, because that allows us to qualify him as somebody not responsible for his own actions. All the Browns told that man when he left was, no matter what you do, stop being photographed in bars. Stop having your picture taken in bars. And he continues to say, hey, guess what? I'm a big grown man and I'm going to do what I want. But then when you want to hold him to the consequences, people want to say, oh, he's just a kid. Is he a man who's able to do what he wants to do? Or is he just a big kid? We'll talk about all of that. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Dr. Football might, but we will talk about the Shanahans, talk about the NFL playoffs, divisional round coming up, all of that, so much more. Let's do it. Welcome into the Sports Fix, you guys. I am your host, the Big Daddy on the microphone, J-Rock Jerry Myers, with you guys each and every weekday at noon, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. Welcome in if you're listening to us live on TuneIn, TuneIn's radio app worldwide, on Spreaker and Mixler and on their respective digital and mobile applications. Welcome into all of you enjoying the show on our home base, live, thesportsfix.net. That's our mothership, the one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Welcome in as well, thousands of you around the world who enjoy the show on digital delay on such sites as iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider, on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio, on SoundCloud, on CarPlay, on Player FM, on all the different sites that you enjoy the show. Welcome in. Thanks for doing it, as always. I see in the chat room, how's my evil eye? It's still broken. If there's no other way. I mean, it's not going to change very much from day to day. This is going to be a gradual process. By the way, I get to go to Madison High School tonight, broadcast Willoughby South and Madison tonight on 1330, and I get to begin the process. It'll be at least twice a week. I'm going to go to these high schools and have to explain to 15 different people while I'm walking around looking like I just went in the ring with Mike Tyson. So that'll be fun tonight. Be a fun basketball game, though. My first chance to check out Madison tonight. But, yeah, thanks for asking there, Charles. Yeah, eye is doing fine. Still broken, but it's still hanging in there. See what I did there? Hanging in there, my eye. Anyways, all right. Be a part of the show. Stop me from telling bad jokes. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. What are your thoughts on DIon Waiters out? J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert in. Cavaliers trying to shake things up a bit. I'm mixed on this, and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. 216-539-7535. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Email us, TheSportsFix@AOL.com. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Email us, TheSportsFix@AOL.com. Never a good sign, by the way, as we get started talking about this, when you get a comment from one of your Facebook followers in New York who clarifies that J.R. Smith is a cancer. And this man was happy that the Knicks parted ways with J.R. Smith from their team. And I got to tell you, as we look now, talking about the trade, to recap, those of you that don't know the details or just joining us here, Cavaliers last night, just moments before tip-off against Philadelphia, a game that they lost last night, shorthanded as can be, to the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, those Philadelphia 76ers. Cavaliers pulled DIon Waiters, Alex Kirk, Lou Amundson off the floor before tip-off. Like I said, DIon, but I'm sure it wore away pretty quick after he realized the situation he was heading to. But he could not have been happy finding that out. Like I said, he had to have circled that all week. Things haven't been going well, but we're kicking off the new year. No LeBron to tell me what to do tonight. Kyrie can't tell me what to do tonight. I'm going to go be DIon in Philly, and he was feeling good, and he had family in the crowd, and he was ready to go. And then they said, no, DIon, you won't be playing tonight, sir. You're in the middle of being traded. DIon Waiters traded away. Shumpert, Smith, a protected first-round draft pick comes in. The details on that, just for those of you wondering what a protected first-round pick means, this one is top 18 protected, which means it's Oklahoma City's first-round draft pick. If they are one of the 18 worst teams this season, then they won't give the pick to the Cavs. They're protected there. If they're 19th or better, Cavs would get their first-round pick this year. Next year, it's only protected through the top 15, through the top half lottery picks. So, again, you could anticipate that. 18 is going to be close because they had a low start this year. Cavs may be able to cash that pick in this season, but most likely the OKC will be able to avoid the top 15 next year. If that's the case, then it does convert into 2 back-to-back second-round picks in consecutive years. Either way, right now, it's a first-round pick, and I don't expect the Cavs to do anything with this for themselves. This is going to be traded to somebody else, so somebody else will inherit the risk of whether or not that first-round pick pays off or if it becomes 2 second-round picks. It does give the Cavs an asset. I expect them, and they're burning up the phones, I expect this pick to be part of something that they flip. We've heard talks about Costa Koufis before. We've heard a couple of other big guys. I do expect them to use what remaining assets they have, which are dwindling down. We were joking a bit at the beginning of the show about how nice Tyler Zeller would look now, and we basically had to give those guys away to clear salary cap space to sign LeBron when we began to do this in the beginning of the season. So, that's a joke, but it's also the reality of you quickly saw a team with nothing but assets, and I'm cool with that. I understand. You don't build up assets to stockpile assets. Some people are like, but you got to keep them. Well, yeah, at some point you start dealing them. It's just, I don't know that the Cavs have necessarily made the right selections along the way, regardless of what they've done before now. This specific deal here,